Hello, I want to welcome you all to another episode, actually, episode 7 of Paint with Rob the Builder. Well, this morning, it's about 5 o'clock. Can't sleep, so what do you want to do? Well, I want to paint. Um, I get inspiration from anything. Previous paintings, previous artists, sunset, pictures, photos, that kind of thing. But today, I'm going to try and just imagine putting a few of those things together, like taking some from this part, some from this part, and just seeing what we can do. Hopefully, you get a good vantage point. I tried to change up things a little bit so it's a little brighter, it's not so dark. Hopefully, there's not a lot of shadows cast. Um, when I do my studio, I kind of, you know, figure out what I want to do. I got lighting, which is funny because I have this light here, and I didn't know if I needed to cast light on the painting. I try different things. I just want to see. I'm going to see if this casts a glow. Probably not. So it's probably not going to help. But what we're going to do today is I want to try an oval painting. I want to try it. I've seen other artists do it. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. I do want to give a shout out to my family, the children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. Um, 3 of my nieces were actually watching, and they actually saw me on TV for the first time, if you want to call it, YouTube. I want to give a shout out to Alexis, Sarah, and Gracie. Hey guys. So we're going to try this here. We're going to do an oval painting. I have my paints right here. I have it on cardboard because it's easy to dispose of. Um, you think about a paint palette. Now, I had a buddy of mine made a palette for me, like a wooden palette, which was really cool, and it said Rob the Builder. It's almost like so nice that I don't want to get paint on it, because some of these paints run. Like if you look at that, it's got a lot of oil in it, and I don't really want to hold it and then paint and then it run all over my shirt. But it's so nice, and I'll show you a picture of that. But I really do appreciate all of the viewers, subscribers. I think right now, collectively, the 6 episodes I've done, we've got close to 2,000 views, which is great. And the goal isn't to see how many viewers. The goal is I want to go ahead and share a passion of mine that I actually learned and discovered that, maybe it's not too bad. So let me start. I use brushes. A lot of the brushes out there are really, really expensive. So I just use chip brushes. And yes, I do have some of the famous Bob Ross brushes like this. I have some fan brushes like this, and it actually works for me. So what I'm going to do is I don't really know what I want to do. I kind of know an idea. I mean, obviously you want a sky. So let's just start. I'll kind of talk through it. Let me find the right brush. And since it's not really and I actually took a chip brush and I trimmed the edges of it, so it makes it more easy to deal with because it's not very frayed. So let's try. We're gonna first put a little bit of paint on it. So I'm just gonna. I know sometimes it's like when you hear that you're like, oh great, and it's kind of dark. I have already liquid white on the canvas. And the thing is, when you're doing an oval painting, you really want to go down, because if you go up, back that way, you could get paint underneath. So I'm kind of like going like this, and I'll smooth it out. I'm just trying to put a sky on there. I got a lot of paint on there, but as you go down, you kind of blend it in. These aren't the best blending brushes, so as you can see, there's probably some blue streaks, but it's really just trying to apply it, you know. And then you can do some water. So you carry this down, and you can see right in the canvas here. You can see there's this line here in the middle. It's actually the frame of the canvas. And as you can see, I have a lot of liquid white on there because you can see it's not like completely dark, but it's okay. I really don't want a whole lot of, I want to mix it a little better. Yeah, well, you'll see me blend it. I just like the sky to be as light as possible. And since the painting we're doing is, it's going to be a pretty simplistic one. It's going to be, you know, it's water, it's mountains or trees or trees. And it'll look okay, I believe. You know, I'm hoping. Yeah. Well, the cool thing is the reveal. Whenever you peel it off, I mean, it's going to look, I believe, decent. So I'm gonna, since I've already done that, I have my little, paint washing or brush tray, as Bob Ross does. My problem is I tend to get it all over me, you know. And one time I had some paintings on this back wall here, and it was actually, I'm going to try a blender brush here. It's not, I want it to blend better. So these are kind of the nicer brushes. As you can see, they'll smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, just smooth it out a little bit. I mean, you don't want your sky to be so blue that it doesn't look real, you know. And I just have I have kind of a, yeah. So yeah, you have some reflection. So I don't know exactly where the water is going to be in this one. I know I want to do a painting. I know now what I want to do is I want to do some clouds, because all right. So let me get a better brush for clouds. They always say a tip of fan brush is the best for clouds. Again, a lot of this is just like, okay, let's see. You can take the corner of your fan brush and make decent clouds. I'll just go over it. So, yep, we're gonna do some clouds down here. So when we do clouds, we're just gonna, you blend out the bottom of it. You don't really want to mess with you don't really want to mess with the top of it. you get the picture. They're clouds. So you may not be the best clouds, but it is clouds. But yeah, I guess it depends. So when you're looking at pictures, like, yeah, sometimes you can envision what you want to do if you don't have an idea, and maybe it's fun not to have an idea. Maybe it's fun to just see, well, what can I create? Because if you guys think about it, how many paintings do you want to do? Do you want to do um, like 100 paintings? Do you want to do 1,000 paintings? You obviously can't paint the same exact thing, but it is important to, you know, do creatively what you want to do and mix it up a little bit. I have a lot of paintings around here that some are mountains, some don't have mountains, some have trees, some don't have, they have water and they don't have land, so it's whatever floats your boat. So this is what I think. I want to go up here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I just want to go ahead. And again, I got my little, yep, it cleans it pretty well. Yeah, so let's see. I have a palette knife, and sometimes I lose my palette knife. I have a bigger knife. I have a smaller knife. I'm looking for the here it is. Smaller palette knife. So I am going to see if I can put my mountain color together. And one of the things I forgot to share with you, I love golf. I love bowling. So any of you fellow golfers, bowlers, that kind of thing, I love doing that. So today I have a tournament I'm going to be bowling in. Me and my buddy who are going to be bowling in it. Hopefully, I'm just mixing up my mountain color. And then I'm going to, they go, this little roll of paint. It's never a little roll of paint. So when you do your mountain, if you do it up really, really high, it's kind of not realistic because this is your horizon line. So you could go like right here, off to the side. So let's just do that. Let's pick a spot, go up, and go like that. And then you can go like that. Yep. Yep. And then you can go, you can start up here and go down. When you do, like I said, when you do mountains, I mean, some people do them where they're like, and you form your mountains. I mean, mountains don't have to be pretty. They don't, you really want to protect the edge. And we'll smooth that out a little bit once we get going. Because you don't really want your mountains to be, you don't want them to be triangles, right? You don't want them to be, real pointed. You want it to be, actually it's not too bad. It doesn't, you can actually probably form where your peaks are going to be. Now, the cool thing about mountains, that you can make any type of mountains, and a lot of people put snow on them. Some people, want to make mountains look like they're, they got, rocks and trees on them. I mean, I don't know. It just depends. I don't really care, either way, but I just, I want to make sure they look good. So what I do is you can take your I actually kind of like that though. I didn't really want to mess it up. Yeah. Okay. I like that. You know, got a little bit of like ridge in there. I mean, you don't really have to. I mean, you could put some paint on it. I mean, it's white, and I can do that. If you hear the furnace going on, it's 'cause I'm in the dungeon. But yeah, I want to get back to, yeah, I am a golfer, bowler. I like to do things to keep myself occupied because I have to stay active. I mean, that's just how I am, you know. And with the kids and grandkids, they keep you going. Um, you know, I'm going to be running a food cart in April. It's going to be called Shaw Dogs, and I'm in Michigan. So in April, when the hot dog cart season opens up, I want to do that. It's just a bucket list of mine, something I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to do it. Besides painting, but again, painting at 5 o'clock in the morning, everybody's still sleeping. So the good thing about it is I don't have to worry about it. Now, what I want to do, what some people do is they use the and then they kind of let's see how to do it. I don't kind of like I'm just putting a little bit of white on there because I don't want it to be void of character. Yeah. I'm not a heavy like I don't want my mountains to look like they're like so snow capped. I mean, it doesn't. Some mountains, you know, I used to make that were like it looked like it just, you know. Yeah, I mean, you can put a little bit of snow reflection on there. You don't have to do it. I mean, some people think it's not. You know, you can just say, hey, it just rained, and you know. So, I mean, you can make it as simple as you don't have to make it. So yeah, you know, simple. You know, you can make mountains that have that much snow. They don't have a lot. You know, so you know, put random bits of snow on there. You don't have to. Nothing. Nobody says, "Hey, that snow doesn't fall like that." Well, yeah. And people to put a shadow. I don't need to put a shadow or base color. Some people think it looks cool. I mean, you can if you want. If you want to put a, you know, like what I mean by that is like you take a little bit of blue. You know, you know, oh, yeah, put some. I mean, you can put a light cast on there. It's not a bad idea, but still. You know what I mean? Put a little bit of cast shadow in it. It's all right. There you go. So I'll go with it, right? What do you think? Mountain? Okay, mountain. So now we're thinking, what could I possibly do? So this is where the interesting part comes in. You're like, okay, what do I do? Got your sky, got your mountain. Um, do you want to have like the water come this way? I don't want to do reflection. I kind of want just greenery. I want it to be I want it to be where there's trees around and you focus on the mountain. So what you can do is you can take your fan brush, which is what I'm going to do, if I can find it again. Oh, here we go, fan brush. All right, so you can make trees, which when you make your trees, I take a little bit of green, a little bit of black, yeah. And then you could go. So here I'm just gonna. I like making trees like this. I like making, because when you're talking about distant trees, I mean, it's very simplistic. Sorry, the board is kind of shaking a little bit. I uh, I have what I have clamps that I use to kind of secure it. I'm just trying to make them a little darker because then we can highlight them. I don't know. I tend to like my trees like that. The distant trees, and then you can come back here. Wow, that is kind of shaky. Let me see if I can't fix that. I really, really don't like the shaky board. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try to clamp my board still. All right, well, let's see. Man, these clamps, these are good clamps, but. There we go. Now we're back to business. So, all right. And when you're putting in trees, far distant trees, you'll notice when painters do that, they're far away. So you don't have to, as the closer they get, the more detail. Yeah. So, you got your tree line. So what you can, I want to put a little bit more green, because you want them to look like trees. You don't want them to look like. And then you can, and the closer they come to you, the darker they are. So like as in these. Right. So what we can do is we can blend the bottom of it out, because I know some of the artists actually blend. I don't mind doing it. Like, you just go, because you want to create a separation. So that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to mist the bottom. And we'll even mist the bottom of these. Okay. So, and we can do another row of trees. I just like to, all right. So I think we're good with the trees. All right, so with that being said, we probably want to make a little bit of land. I know I lose. If I skip thoughts, sorry about that. I get kind of caught up in really what I want to do because I want to make sure it looks nice. So we got mountains in the background, we got trees, we got other trees. So you can do grass, you can do green. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do some green. Let's put a little greenery in there. Sorry about that. I gotta find me my brushes. But yeah, I love doing it. So really, not a whole lot's happened this week, other than work. I do have a 9 to 5er, like a lot of the people out there who do. And I love what I do. You're helping people. You really want to make sure that you do the best job you can, because again, the goal is to help people, and if you can do that and make a difference, why not? So part of my dream to be a hot dog. I know it sounds really funny, but to be a hot dog vendor, trust me, when it's not easy. It's not say, hey, I want to sell hot dogs. I'm from the Chicagoland area. I love Chicago hot dogs. It's not necessarily the Chicago style, because all the Chicago style is, and what people get confused about, the Chicago style hot dog, it has sesame seed bun, it has celery, it has Vienna beef hot dog, it's got cucumber, it's got relish, or actually it's got green relish, onion, mustard, and celery salt, and tomatoes. I just don't like tomatoes, so I know everybody likes tomatoes. I like everything tomatoes makes, but I don't like tomatoes. I mean, go figure. I mean, maybe it's weird, but I just don't happen to like tomatoes. I don't care for them, so I don't. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to put a little greenery in there. I mean, I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll see. It's like, so I'm just putting some green grass in there. And so because I have blue, you just want to make sure that, and you want to put different variations of green. You don't want it to be where it's so dark. You just want to put like, same with here. You don't want it to be like, yeah. You don't want the grass to be like, it disappears. But I like the fact that we can make it look like there's water coming from the other side. There, we just want to make sure that because we're going to probably more likely put a tree in, it's going to block that out. So don't necessarily worry about what's going on here. If you look here, it's a little different, but that's the whole purpose. So now we can fix that. Because remember, I can put more green, and I can go like this. Yeah, so you can make it more green. You can bring it down. But again, I'm gonna put a tree in there. I do like how the grass is growing here, but what we want to do is, since uh, we're just gonna leave a little bit of water, but we want some trees, bigger trees, and it's gonna be simple. Trust me when I say it's gonna be simple. It's nothing, huge. I mean, we've already been talking for a half hour. It just seems like we've been talking for 5 minutes, but I ramble on. But again, I really do appreciate it. My goal is to try to do a painting every week, and hopefully, yeah. So that is the goal, to do that. Now, when you're doing like the grass and stuff like that. Now, keep in mind we're doing an oval painting, so and when you're doing an oval painting, you know that all of this, when you know that we're painting around it, that's gonna come off, and you won't see that. So now, should I do a waterfall? Should I do like rocks and then like, so a river? I can do that, which is pretty cool. So why don't we look at that? Why don't we do that? So when we're doing like rocks, I learned a trick, and it's actually pretty cool, and I hope it works this time. You take a brush, like this maybe, yeah, kind of like this, and one side you're gonna do brown, other side you're gonna do white. And you're gonna go, and then you're gonna go. So you want to go like this. Yeah, the white doesn't come off so well, so we're just gonna try it this way. Yeah, kind of doing rocks because I want to do like the river bank. You can always improvise. Yeah. So yeah, we're making rocks, and we're just gonna make a little riverbed. I think keeping it simple. Again, it's if you're just doing it for fun. You're not trying to have your stuff put in the Smithsonian or anything like that. Um, but yeah, so the goal, it's gonna look like a river, and you can make a waterfall. Let's do that. Let's actually do that. I love waterfalls. And I can, let's see. So you can make it like. What we're doing is just putting in. So what you're doing is you're putting in rippling water, Yeah. So you can do that. Just, rippling water, going down the water, and yeah. I mean, it's okay. You're gonna have rippling water. So that's a water. So there's your waterfall, right? Right in the center. You got your mountain, your trees, your waterfall, your rocks, your grass. So let's do a tree on both sides. Um, there's nothing wrong with, like I said, you keeping it simple. Because I think when you tinker with it and you make it so complicated that it can be overwhelming, it can be almost frustrating. So we're just going to keep it. You know what they say, that KISS principle? Keep it simple, stupid. I don't like I don't like them calling it stupid, but because there's no such thing as stupid. So I want to do like light little trees in the background. So I want to go ahead and do. Yep. So, and then here you can always go against it. So you do a tree, and it's fine. You can do a tree on the other side. Kind of make it, but this time I'm gonna do a big tree. So like I said, you have two big trees. And then you're going to but when you do trees like that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that there's uh, there's some kind of reflections because you want it to be. Let's try that one again. There you go. doesn't work the way you want, you can just put the, yep. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to do this? All right. So we got our trees. I don't really do, when I do trees, I just do sticks down, and I do it for dimension. So what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at the grass here. These brushes give you longer grass, which I like, because you can always go at the bottom. Yep. Yep. Just some tall grasses in the front. Make it look kind of cool. Make it seem like you tried and put all your heart and soul into it. You know, I don't know. So again, you can make a painting as simple as that. You have your water kind of coming down from the mountains. You can always, whenever you're looking at things, you're like, I don't really like it. You can always change it. You know, and you want to fill in. You don't want it to make it look like that there's no like ground. So what I do is then I'll take a So, I mean, it's about as simple as that. I mean, as far as the painting is concerned, if you want to do something simplistic, and again, that's what it is. I didn't want something complicated. You can do, I'll probably fiddle it with it like I will. But I believe we have a finished painting. I'm just putting some more trees in here. And, I just want to go ahead and just make sure, distant trees. Okay, so that's what we got. I could put leaves and branches on it, but if I fiddle with it, you'll know. Now, here is the reveal. Okay, now let's hope this comes out the way I want. Like I'm hoping it will. So I'm gonna kind of stand for this one. I'm just gonna. I have tape on the back side of it. Hard to do it with gloves. Actually, I'm going to take the gloves off. I get it. Take the gloves off. All right. So, as they say in France, pièce de résistance. Let's see. Come on. I don't want to try to peel the canvas off. I just want that. There we go. All right, and I'm going to peel this off. All right, so get this. I had it taped on because one time I did this, I tried it. So You guys ready? You guys ready for it? Let's see. Let's see. Ready to go ooh ah? All right. I'm hoping to go ooh ah. All right. So here we go. Go ahead, say it. Ooh ah. Ooh ah. Whoops. All right. Okay. So besides the little issue here, we can always fix that with white. But it made it a cool oval painting. We have our mountain, we have our trees, we have our grass, we have our streams, and our waterfall. Again, this is great. Please like and subscribe. That helps. I do love what I do. I didn't really realize what I was going to do, but it turned out okay. So if you want to do this too, you get contact paper. You can go to your local supply store like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, that kind of thing, Joann Fabric, and get, and it's not perfect as you can see. Obviously, the contact paper I got was from Dollar Store, so it doesn't come out as perfect as like when Bob Ross said, like a perfect circle, but I'll go with it. Okay. Thank you again. Appreciate for watching. I will again, well, I'll try to do this every week, probably the weekends, probably on Friday, Saturday night when there's nothing to do. All right. Thank you. This was episode 7 of Paint with Rob the Builder. I look forward to another painting session. Thank you again for joining me.